This is exactly what it takes to go from zero to $50,000 a month with surplus funds. And this is going to be a two-part series. This is part number one. So if you're starting off, you're in the right place. Now, before we jump into it, I want to say that number one, you should subscribe if you haven't already, because if you don't know, on some of these videos, we give away free courses that normally we charge money for, but we give out to people for free if they're one of the first people to see the video and if they watch the video all the way through and find the hidden link. So make sure that you are subscribed and hit the notification bell, and that way you can be one of the first people to see the videos. Now, with that being said, this is part one of how to go from 0 to 50K a month with surplus funds. So step number one, you got to pick a niche and a state. I see so many people that come through our program and watch YouTube videos. Instead of picking one niche or picking one state, they're just like, I'm gonna do all of it. Right? There's 4 niches and there's 50 states, so I'm gonna do all 200 things at one time. And as you can probably imagine, not the best way to have success. In fact, typically that's a way to guarantee yourself not having success. There's the old adage that a rabbit that chases two carrots gets none or something like that. I don't know. The point is that if you're chasing 200 carrots, you're getting none. Okay, you got to pick one state and one niche. Now, can you go wrong with this? Yes, you can. I have videos on how to pick better niches and how to pick better states. But at the end of the day, you just got to pick one. Even if you pick the wrong one, it's better to pick a wrong one than it is to pick none. Okay, so that's number one. Step number two, you got to have a consistent marketing plan. Now, this one, you'd be surprised. It sounds so simple on paper again, but people mess this up all the time. What they do is they come in and they're like, I'm so excited, I'm empowered, I'm ready to go. I am going to come in and I'm going to make 2,000 phone calls the first 3 days. And then they do that. They make a bunch of phone calls. And they get some momentum, they get some yeses, they get some whatever it is. And then they get burned out. And when they get burned out, what happens inevitably is they stop. Or they limit, they lower, they slow it way down. And then you lose that momentum. And then you're like constantly in this battle of like, high momentum and no momentum, high momentum and no momentum, and you never get anywhere. So what I would like to offer you as advice to do instead that has worked not only for me, not only for my business partner David, but for thousands of people that have come before you and followed the same path that you're looking to get started with, which is starting your own surplus and recovery business, is 10 calls a day keeps the bill collector away. Okay? Just make 10 calls every single day. That's all you got to do. It'll take you 2 hours a day, at most, probably an hour a day if we're being honest. And you can do that every single day, 5, 6, 7 days a week, whatever you're comfortable with. We recommend doing at least 5, obviously. And that's it. And that way you don't have to quit your job and make some crazy transition out when you haven't even started this thing yet. You don't have to do like 8 hours of calls 1 day a week or something like that. You can just do 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day every single day. Another way to look at this is people that go to the gym. Chances are most of you watching this have probably done some sort of physical exercise at some point in your life. Here's the question I have for you. When you go to the gym and you work out, you get a good lift in, right? You're like, I'm gonna get yoked. And then you leave the gym. Is that it? You're just like, I'm now Arnold Schwarzenegger at his peak. I never have to work out ever again. No, you have to continually go to the gym, and that time compounds, that consistency compounds over time to get those results. In other words, you don't just work out once and then you're in shape. You have to work out every single day or very regularly to get in shape and to stay in shape, right? Same thing here. If you want to truly be successful, this must become a part of your life. It can't be a one-time, I'm excited, momentum type of activity. It's got to be over and over and over again, okay? So that's step number two. So number one, recap, pick a niche and pick a state. Number two, a consistent marketing plan. Number three, this is where we get a little bit more fun, okay? You need to have an automated marketing system. And this is the key thing here. What's going to happen as you start to build your business up is you're moving from, if you have read Robert Kiyosaki, something called the cash flow quadrant. On the top left of the cash flow quadrant is the E quadrant, where you're an employee, you're working for someone else. In other words, you're selling your time for someone else for money. It's okay, everyone starts there, it's totally fine, but we don't want to end there. Where we want to end is on the right side of the quadrant. So what happens is you're moving from the E side, you're moving down to the S, which is great because now you're in control of that, but you're still selling your time for money. If you're making the calls yourself, if you're doing the marketing yourself, you are still selling your time for money, which inevitably means that the only way to make more money is either to make your time more valuable, and not to you, by the way, to the marketplace, or create more time. And I don't know about you, but I can't make more time. I have to either make my time more valuable, or it sounds like you're kind of screwed. And the reality is no, okay? Those options both don't work for me because the marketplace is never going to give me the amount of money I want per hour for my time. What I have to do instead is find a way to create a business, create a system that generates money that is not based on the amount of time I'm spending doing it, okay? And that's where the automated marketing system comes into play. So at this point, what we're going to do is we're going to delegate, we're going to simplify what you're doing, and we're going to delegate your marketing to someone else. Now there's two ways to do this. The first is a technology-based system. So what does that mean? That means you are using some sort of online system, whether it be automated texting, a ringless voicemail, something like that, to send out messages and marketing on your behalf without you doing anything, okay? Now, if you're someone right now that has a computer background, and by computer background I mean you're just very, you're tech savvy, you don't need to have any code knowledge or anything like that, but you're tech savvy, whatever it is, you feel very confident in using a computer, that's a great option for you. Option number two, which is usually better and usually what we tell people to go with, is to work with a virtual assistant, okay? Virtual assistants, you can hire them. They have training on how to make calls. They can make 50 to 100 calls a day. And most of our VAs, we pay them about $400 to $500 a week and we'll net about $3,000 a week, okay? So it's a pretty good investment. And all you have to do is you go from having to do all those calls every single day to just managing for 30 minutes to an hour a day that person. And so then you can just add more VAs. And you see, you create this automated marketing system that's doing the hard lifting for you. In fact, my favorite entrepreneur of all time, John Rockefeller. There's a book called Titan that you should read. John Rockefeller, he has a quote that says, "I would rather make 1% of 100 men's efforts than 100% of my own." Okay? And that is the way that business works. You must be able to leverage and delegate your opportunities to other people so that you can grow your business. So with that being said, part number one of this series so far has been we've picked a niche and a state. We've confirmed that. We have come up with a consistent marketing plan to get us to that 10K a month or 15K a month that we need to get to quit our job, pay our expenses, all those things, so we can go full-time into this business. And then number three is an automated marketing system. We've now created that to a point where we can leverage other people's time, we can leverage technology to massively scale what we want to do. And in part number two of this series, I will share with you exactly what that looks like, or what the next three steps of this process look like to get you from 0 to 50K a month with surplus funds. So if you want to see part two, I would really highly recommend you subscribe to this channel and of course hit the notification bell. Guys, remember, listen, I know nowadays with the way YouTube videos work, it's like, you want all the answers in like 2 minutes, like in one video. If you don't have the discipline to watch another YouTube video after this one, you're not going to be successful. I don't know what to tell you. I wish I could make it easier. I could just install my information into you. I love you guys, but you got to be able to have the discipline to sit down and watch a video and take notes on it so you can improve yourself. So with that being said, subscribe so you can see the next one when it comes out, and I will see you on that next video.